If you're a blogger or content creator and you feel like you're working way too hard for the results you're getting, we need you to hear this. The Smart Influencer Summit is happening this April, and this is not another fluffy conference where you take notes and change nothing. This is a working summit.
We're bringing together serious creators who are ready to tighten up their systems, fix their monetization leaks, and finally build a business that doesn't depend on hustle mode 24/7. It's intimate, it's strategic, and it's built for creators who are past the beginner phase, but not quite at team of 20 and private equity level. If you're tired of guessing and ready to execute with clarity, grab your ticket now at thesmartinfluencer.com/summit. We'll see you in the room. Welcome to the Smart Influencer Podcast. If you're tired of chasing algorithms, second guessing your strategy, or feeling like you're doing all the things without seeing the growth you want, you're in the right place.
We're your hosts. I'm Christina,
And I'm Corinne.
and we're bloggers, business owners, systems nerds, and founders of the Smart Influencer. Between the two of us, we've built multiple six-figure brands, launched digital products, hosted live events, and coached creators who are ready to level up.
Each week, we break down what's actually working in today's creator economy, from monetization and list growth to systems, automation, and building a business that doesn't own you. Because this isn't about hustling harder.
It's about building smarter. Let's get into it. Okay, so you are back with the wonderful Corinne and Christina today.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And we're going to challenge the way you think a little bit with this one. So, this is why we think more traffic will not fix your business. Ouch, right?
No, because literally for years, my primary goal for the year was tied to
Yeah,
traffic because it
traffic.
fixed everything else. Rather, the more people came to my site, the more money I could make on ads, on affiliates, on product sales.
Yeah.
So I know it sounds counterintuitive.
But you know what really got us thinking in this direction was the blogpocalypse that just happened here in 2025, right? And it's kind of how everything came falling down around us. But really, if your revenue isn't growing with your traffic, it's not that you have a traffic problem, it's that you have an alignment problem,
Right. And
right?
some people like listen to it both ways because right now, like maybe like not many people, some people are still seeing traffic growth, but for the most part, those of you that have been blogging a few years, like we took a hit last year. Most people, like most people in our groups, that's what they saw. They saw a traffic hit, but not a lot of people made much less money.
Right.
And that's also a sign, right? Like, so if traffic wasn't tied to your revenue, if you somehow made just as much last year, or you made almost as much but had a big traffic hit, your issue isn't traffic. That's not the
Right.
problem. It's our revenue strategy.
Hmm. So I want you to think about it, right? If your traffic doubled tomorrow, would your revenue also double? Right? And that's like,
Yeah,
yeah, right? So, like I said, again, if the answer there is no, it's not a traffic problem, right?
right,
Traffic is attention, right? It's calling attention to what it is that we have to offer. But revenue, that requires alignment. And attention without alignment is just noise. And we've talked about this in the last couple of episodes, like what brings noise to our business. And the whole thing is we just need to focus and get that clarity down.
right. So let's talk about this, like how we get into the traffic trap. So
Yeah.
like think about the times when your page views were going up, your sessions were going up, impressions were going up. Like that feels like growth, right? Like you're seeing it. But your revenue either stayed flat or didn't go up in the same like in the same trajectory,
Right.
right? So your instinct is, I just need more traffic, and that's the trap. But it's not because like there are lots of little things we can do to fix conversions, right? Like that is,
Yeah.
and that's I mean, that's the crux of it. For most of us, like, especially if you came up and you were monetizing largely on ads, traffic was easier to chase than conversions. Conversions
Right.
was this whole other language that only digital marketers do. And like, we don't know that. And I didn't even know those numbers. After I was
Right.
selling products, like digital products for years, still didn't know my conversion numbers because I'd rather figure out how to get more people to buy them initially, right? To get more
Right.
traffic into the funnel.
Right. And I think that, I mean, you're just bringing light to this, but I think the big thing is it seems like traffic is easier, but we don't control that. We
Right.
think we do, but we don't.
Right.
We don't. You're more, you have more control over the rest of the system than the traffic part of it.
Right. And this is where I think when that light bulb came up, came on for us, we're like, well, whoa, like we actually have a lot more
Yeah.
power to control our revenue than
Right.
what we were doing before. Right. Like
Because,
we were, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Because getting traffic is a lot of work, right? Like it feels easier because it's the familiar work, but publishing more posts, promoting it on social, like, pinning your content, making social media posts, targeting the right keywords, like doing all the SEO research, following the trends. Like it was like it's a lot of work, but it was work we knew.
And it feels productive
It
because you
feels
feel
productive.
like you're doing something, right? It's
Yes.
things that are going on our, these tasks that are going on our to-do list that we talked about in a previous episode, right?
Right.
It's harder to optimize our calls to actions and to try to improve those conversions or saying no to that low intent content. It's harder, but that's really where the money lies.
Well, and the other thing too, and I'll say this as someone who's made a lot of digital products, sometimes, and we've talked about this with our mastermind group too. Sometimes it's uncomfortable for us to realize we've got a bad offer.
Yes.
Um, right? Like I didn't want to look at it and be like, okay, is the thing I made that I put my blood, sweat, and tears in, not literally, but like put a lot of effort in, is that like not wanted, not needed? And I've already done the work. Like that is a hard realization, which is why we've got episodes on getting that straight, right? Like before you build the thing.
Did we build the product we wanted, not the ones our
Yes.
customers wanted?
Exactly. But
Yeah.
when you do, we're like getting that offer right. And sometimes it's that the offer was okay, the product was okay, but the way that you framed it, and that is so much easier. Like, I don't know why I thought this after we started doing it. Like, it is so much easier to update a sales page than to build a whole new product.
Absolutely.
It is
Amen.
so much easier to like change a price,
Yeah.
right? Like you take it up or down a little bit or introduce a sale than it is to build a whole new product or
Yep.
create a whole new blog post or figure out how to promote a whole new blog post.
Right. Right. Yeah, it really is. It sounds harder, but it really is easier.
It is. We
So
promise.
it comes down to there's three different types of traffic out there, right?
Yes.
The first one, and this is my favorite, and when I teach my class, this is something my classes understand within the first couple of weeks of class that there's something called vanity traffic, right?
Hmm.
We love vanity traffic because it's high volume, but it also has very low intent and low buyer likelihood, right?
Right.
So if we're going after those broad keywords, maybe it's seasonal spikes or content that's not related to an offer that we have out there, vanity traffic. It's
Right.
kind of like when you look at, when you look at a social media post and you see how many followers you have, that's a vanity number. That doesn't mean they're people that are actually taking action.
Right.
We want
Right.
you to know which of your top 10 posts have never generated traffic or revenue, not
Well,
traffic.
and this is like, and I am going to say this carefully because I don't want it to be that I'm criticizing the tool. But when Rank IQ first launched, and I have so much respect for Brandon Gailey, he's brilliant,
Mhm.
like very successful, and built an amazing tool.
Right,
However, what a lot of people did with it was they'd go in and they'd find these keywords then that had great potential. And now you are writing a post to a keyword because it's got great ranking potential and great traffic potential, but didn't ever think about who's searching for that. How well does this fit with my content? Beyond the I have a food blog and this is a recipe, right? Like, or this is a
right,
food post, or like this is where like all the posts and I'm guilty of it, right? Like I used it and I also used it for this purpose, right? Like the what to serve with post, like that is fantastic, and those are valuable posts if they fit your other content. And like you write a post about what to serve with salmon because you have several salmon recipes that you can link to that in.
right. And it's part of a pillar post, like a larger pillar post. It's rounding that out,
Right.
not because
So
it's a
that
keyword
was
that should.
chasing vanity traffic, right? Like
Yeah,
that, and I know a lot of us did it. Like I'm guilty of it, right?
yeah,
Like
we're all
chasing
guilty
that
of it.
vanity traffic.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. Anytime you're in a keyword tool and you find a keyword in that tool that you weren't searching for, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to go after that one." That's
Right.
vanity.
And
Yeah.
also, like, to be clear, like you're making ad revenue on it, right? Like we did that because we were like getting ad revenue. So it's not that it's wrong to do keyword research. It's not that it's wrong to go after keywords that you
Not what we're
can
saying.
likely rank for. Like what we're saying here in terms of like, is that traffic really aligned with you? Is did you, while you were choosing that keyword, did you go into that because you know exactly who your user is and what journey you're taking them on, and that keyword happened to pull that person in?
Yeah.
Like you didn't do foods that start with A, which is maybe going to be a teacher that's looking for, right? Like that's not your ideal customer.
Right.
So that's what we're talking about with,
Yeah.
going after these keywords for vanity traffic.
Yep. So the next type of traffic we have is engaged traffic, right? Moderate volume, high engagement, good email signups, repeat readers. This is good. Don't get us wrong. This is great traffic to have, but it's not necessarily monetized,
Right.
right?
So this is going to be like your gated print. Your
Hmm.
gated print, your save the recipe. So some of those people might be engaged traffic. Like they'll come, they might stay on your list, they're going to visit a couple posts. Nothing wrong with that. You're making money off of that. This was a great next step. But they are not necessarily the
Yeah.
people that are going to convert into your raving fans or into buyers.
Yep.
Okay, quick pause. Because if you've been thinking about coming to the Smart Influencer Summit but haven't pulled the trigger yet, let's talk. If you've ever left a conference fired up and then 3 weeks later you're right back where you started, yeah, we built this to fix that. This summit is designed around implementation. You won't just listen, you'll plan, you'll workshop, you'll think through your actual business, your traffic, your offers, your systems with other creators who get it.
And here's the thing, this is not a 500-person ballroom event. It's intentionally small so the conversations are real. The networking actually matters, and you're not just a badge walking around. If you're a mid level blogger making money but feeling stuck, this is your room. Tickets are limited. When they're gone, they're gone. Head to the smartinfluencer.com/summit and secure your seat. Future you will be very glad you did.
So next up, we have aligned traffic, and this is the goal, right? Like this is what we are trying to get to. This is
Yes.
where we're talking about alignment. This is where we're trying to get you. This is the traffic that has the problem that you are solving with your content, whether it's products or whether it's just the blog content you create. You are like getting traffic to that is exactly that person, right? That's who you're
Yep.
going to help. It's going to naturally lead to whatever your core monetization is. Um, and then they're going to convert at a higher rate because it's your ideal person. So, Christine, I'm going to use you as an example here. Like, so because we both have it, we have it in our content. So your
Yes.
moonshine content, right? You wrote it because you loved it, right? And it happened to do well, and then you created a whole cluster around it. But the people that come for that post, we've talked about this a lot. Like, thankfully, you came up with an offer for them, so you've made like lemonade out of lemons with that. But that person now goes into a very specific funnel because demographically and problem-wise, they're very different than the
Yeah.
person that comes from the whole rest of your content.
Exactly. Yeah. And it took a little bit for me to realize that. But once I realized it, I was able to build around that. So
Right,
once I found that aligned traffic and I know what they were there for, I was able to create the content that served them.
right.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. It's about serving your reader and giving them more of what they want. So you're thinking like problem specific posts that are tied to a product, right? Um, if you have tools that you're offering, maybe it's like a comparison post tied to an affiliate product that you're offering, or content that feeds directly into your membership theme. So if you have your membership, Corinne, that's, much bigger and broader now, but maybe you're creating that content that will lead people to want more of that they can then get in your membership.
Right. So like an example of this, like of these types of posts. So I have a post that does well on Pinterest and on Google that is like a 4 week family meal plan. And that is where I am pulling in my ideal mom that's looking for meal planning advice. And in that post, I present different options, my membership being one, another program that I'm an affiliate for that does something very different than what my program does, so that I'm ideally getting like I know my avatar, but like she needs a different solution, right? Different ones need a different solution. And I
Mhm.
present them in that article. So either way, it's monetized. I either make the affiliate revenue because they sign up for the meal planning program that isn't mine, or they sign up for my meal planning membership. Ideally, right? Like they're falling into one of those two buckets. But then also I know a lot of people like for Instant Pot and Ninja Foodie, like that will do Ninja Foodie content and will break down the difference between like the different air fryers, the Ninja Foodie and Instant Pot. So you can see like, oh, I don't need to do all of that. I only want to use an air fryer, so I'm going to buy the air fryer. So having those sorts of comparisons so that the person that's coming to consume your air fryer content, your Ninja Foodie content, whatever, that they can see, oh, like she understands all these tools. I'm going to like, so you're getting your ideal person, but you're also helping them solve a problem that they have when they're looking at all these options or knowing which, like, this is another easy one too for like if you had Instant Pot back in the day, like I had a lot of Instant Pot recipes, having like the essential Instant Pot accessories. Like
Yes.
there's lots of things you can buy, but these are the ones you're going to use and that are going to save you time or if you're making my recipes, you're going to see us referencing them again and again.
Mm-hmm.
So again, solving the problem of your ideal reader so that the traffic that you're getting, the traffic that's coming for those posts, however they're coming, is coming with the intent to do what it is that you help them do.
Mm-hmm. So now we want you to do a little bit of work. We're always about work, right?
Yes. We're not always about work.
I know.
We're always about helping you build your business better.
Right. But you have to do some work. Doesn't come for free.
Yes, that's true. Well, it's free. It's free for it. It's free advice. Not yet
Free
free.
advice, but you gotta do the work.
Yes, true.
Okay, I
Okay.
guess I'm bad cop in this episode.
Okay. So we want you to answer these questions. All right.
Right.
First, go like, and I feel like most of our homework starts the same. So you might already have this from one of our previous assignments. What are my top 5 posts, right? Like which ones are getting the most traffic? Go look at those.
Mm-hmm. Then I want you to think about how those posts connect directly to your core offer,
Right.
right? So think about what your core offer is and how each of those top 5 posts connect to that.
And your core offer might be a course, it might be a cookbook, it might be a membership, it might be going through your content in a way that takes them on a journey, right? Like so by offer, it doesn't have to be an actual product that you're
No.
selling. But like it should be all of your posts should be somehow connected to that.
Right.
And then
It
we want
needs,
you to look and do you have a clear call to action in those posts? Like your highest posts, the ones that most people are seeing. Do you have a clear call to action that's taking them to whatever that core offer is?
hmm And has that post generated revenue in the last 6 months? And we're not just talking about ad revenue here. We're talking about revenue from your offer, whatever that is. Has it generated any revenue in the last 6 months?
Right.
Right.
And if you're primary, like again, we said your offer, like we're not going to tell you what your offer should be or has to be. If your offer is like, if you are still like ad monetization is the way that you are making money, like personally, I think I'd nudge you to like find another monetization method. But if that's it, then we're not just looking at monetization, ad monetization on those posts, but get some sort of tracker, figure out what you were doing with them from there. Did
Yeah.
you get them to opt into your list so that you could keep sending the traffic back? Do you have links to other posts or to pillar content that keeps them on your site for a very long time so that you're earning more ad revenue, not just on that single post, but
Right.
from having had them visit that post? Does that make
Or
sense?
is there an affiliate product or,
Right.
something like that that you can connect them to?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the revenue we want you looking at. Don't just go look at how much revenue that
Yeah.
particular post
We're
made.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Now, if this highest traffic content disappeared tomorrow, is your offer still going to make sense?
Right.
Right? That's huge because that can tell us if you are misaligned or not.
That is a big one. That one hurts a little bit to
I
think, but
know.
none of us wants to picture our biggest traffic driver
I
going
know.
away.
But think about it. Think back to where you were 5 years ago. I bet you your top post today is very different from
Oh,
what it
very
was back
different. Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So it changes, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It just evolves. Yeah.
Right. Because what this gets at is the core of what you're doing with your business, with your website, should
Mhm.
not change depending on what is happening with your traffic drivers. Because again, like this is about not being in a trap with the traffic. We can find other people to get that offer too. And I think this is probably this is a key reason we wanted to talk about this right now. When we don't know where exactly is traffic going to be coming from in 2026 and 2027, like there have been big shifts.
Yeah.
Like you will figure it out. And like we'll do other episodes on that and we'll find experts to talk on it. Like we'll talk about that problem, but chasing the traffic, like getting traffic just for the sake of having traffic, isn't going to solve your business problem, isn't going to fix monetization.
Yep.
You have to, at the core of what you're doing, be helping someone specific, offering something specific. Like you have to figure that out. And that's really what this episode is about, is
Yeah.
figuring that out.
And did you know, like, there's really a couple of times when having more traffic can make things worse for you, right? And it's kind of like an aha moment when you think about that. Like, if you get, let's say you're all of a sudden getting traffic for this keyword that you maybe weren't even intentionally going after, and your bounce rate increases because it's definitely not the intent of what those people were searching for,
Right.
right? You get the increased bounce rate. Well, that hurts you in the eyes of Google, right? You're attracting the wrong audience, right?
Right.
Did you ever have a situation where your email list grew like big, but now you have non-buyers? Like you start to see that a lot, especially with Save This Recipe and Gated Print. You're getting a lot more subscribers, but they're not doing what you need them to do.
Well, in the free printables niche, right? Like that was how I grew my list was I had all these free printables. They don't convert great to buyers,
Hmm.
right? Like they just don't. They want the free stuff. And the freebie seekers are like you and I have talked about this. Like the lower the price and like when especially if it's free, kind of the more demanding they are.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That's what we call vanity traffic or vanity subscribers, a vanity metric. You know, you might have a huge email list, but if it's not doing what you need it to do, it means nothing.
And
And
if you were listening earlier on and you were like, well, yeah, if my traffic doubled, then my revenue would double. For most of you, I want you to answer this honestly, is that because it was ad revenue? Like if you are completely 100% reliant on ad revenue, you've got a leverage problem.
yep, that's big.
It is.
That's really, really big. So scaling the wrong thing will just scale inefficiency, right? Because if you don't know what to scale and you're scaling the wrong thing, doesn't mean you're doing it right.
Right.
So
So our
instead,
challenge, oh, so go ahead. Yeah.
no, I was just going to say instead, right? We don't want to focus on that negative. We want to tell you what you need to do.
So our challenge to you is we want you to figure out what it is you are offering. And again, there's so much that can be. Who are you helping and how are you helping them?
Hmm.
And if you can get crystal clear on that, then a lot of the things that you're going to be working on are going to be simplified and you're going to stop worrying about traffic because you'll
Yeah.
figure out the traffic later because people will find you.
Yeah. So, and I think that's huge. We really want to optimize our businesses before we start expanding that traffic because it's going to make that growth so much bigger.
Right.
Right. So we want to add intentional calls to action to those high traffic posts. We want to match those entry posts where people are coming into our sites to a relevant offer, regardless if it's something we're creating or something that we're selling of somebody else's. We want to build that clear monetization bridge. That's if we can do that work beforehand and then start driving more traffic, our traffic is now worth so much more.
So before you create another piece of content, I don't care what it is, a blog post, a social media post, instead of asking, will it rank? Will it get great reach? Are people going to see it? I want you to ask, what supports my business?
Hmm.
Like that's the first thing you should be asking with any piece of content you're
Yeah.
creating. Is this going to support my business?
You know, and this gets me thinking back to our summit. They think the work we're doing with Katie in the
Yeah,
summit is really going to help you with this. I mean, that is one of the, I'm excited about all the sessions, but I'm really excited. I think she's going to help dial that in so that you know what will support your business.
right. Yeah, she is a master at talking, like
Yeah.
helping you define what your position is in the market.
Yep.
Like what are you actually offering and
Yep.
who are you offering that to?
Yep. So the last part of this is strengthening that one aligned channel that you have, right? Figuring out what that is and really strengthening it, dialing it in is so much better than expanding, right? If
Yeah.
we can take one thing and really dial it in tight to where we want it to be, you'll be so much more effective than if you just try to drive more traffic and build that vanity traffic.
Right. Because now every person, like, and you hear this a lot in digital marketers. Like, I don't know if this is still the prevailing wisdom, but way back when I started concentrating on email, like the metric was you should earn $1 a month from every subscriber that you have,
Mm.
which in digital marketing was the metric. But I didn't know a single person that was a blogger that was seeing that. Right? Like, you're not making $1 off of each subscriber, right? Like, I'd love that. Like,
Oh,
I've
I
got
love it.
70,000 subscribers, right? So, but that was a digital marketing metric because they were so focused on taking you into a funnel and turning you into dollars. We are like, this is how I know we are value only, right? Like going back to our email monetization. So growing these numbers for the sake of growing the numbers instead of thinking, how are we going to get dollars out of like turn these into dollars? And I was almost like getting dollars out of people, but this is where like our framework needs to change. If you
Yeah.
are focused solely on helping someone, helping solve their problems, like you're going to present solutions.
Yeah. It's just natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if this episode you do realize that you've been tracing traffic instead of building alignment, this is exactly the kind of stuff we're doing at the Smart Influencer Summit, right? We're going to show you oh, blah, 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 traffic strategy session. Boy, try saying that 5 times fast. We're going to talk about ways to align monetization. We're going to give you real time implementation and help you fix the leaks in your business right there on the spot.
So if you are ready to stop scaling noise and start scaling revenue, please join us. We'll be in DC in April. You can find out more at thesmartinfluencer.com forward slash. Why can't we talk
You're
today?
having a tough time today.
Summit. Smart
Let's say that
influencer.
again for the people in the back or those
Yes,
that couldn't understand our marble mouth.
exactly. Thesmartinfluencer.com /summit.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. We will be back next week to help you grow smarter, work less, and earn more. Before we wrap up, one more reminder. If this episode resonated with you, the Smart Influencer Summit is where this work goes deeper. Real strategy, real conversations, real implementation. No fluff, no vague inspiration, no manifest your millions nonsense. Just smart creators building smart businesses.
If you're ready to stop circling the same problems and finally solve them, grab your ticket at thesmartinfluencer.com /summit. We would love to see you there.
If today's episode gave you clarity, direction, or even just one solid aha moment, that's your cue to take action.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you found this helpful, please share it with a creator friend who needs to hear it. Smart creators build in communities.
And if you're ready to go deeper, whether that's through our mastermind, live events, or free resources, head to thesmartinfluencer.com and get on our list.
That's where we share the strategies, tools, and behind the scenes insights we don't always talk about on the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Now go build something smarter.